episode 21 of Anime for Trashdwellers, and we are talking about IChu! It's another male idol anime! Hooray! I feel like it's been ages since I've watched a new one weekly. Like, I've either been watching sequels or female idol shows, so this is a nice change. It opens with our main group singing in public with their shittily made sign, terrible audio quality, and subpar singing. One of them doesn't even look like he wants to be there. He just wants to go home to play video games. They are enrolled in the IChu Academy and have formed the group Fire Phoenix. Fucking sick cunt. They probably wanted to name themselves after a Pokemon but couldn't for copyright reasons. So the latest enrollments at this school all have the same producer because yes, she gets to produce like 4 groups at once. Lucky her. And this producer right here, she looks dependable. She isn't some cute but kind of generic looking 18-year-old. Oh no, she's at least in her early to mid 20s in a suit and wearing glasses. Like, yes, this is the look I want someone who is in control of people and organizing them to look like. We get introduced to the other groups via producer Sun filming their intros for promotional purposes. And there is the bane of my existence, a set of twins, except that they're wearing glasses and that their hair and outfits are really cute. Like, it's that kind of pink and blue and soft colors, magical rainbow chic, if you know what I'm talking about. So they're okay, but they kind of also feel like, what are their names? It's the Sanrio twins. There's the little Sanrio twins. It's a boy and a girl and they're pink and blue. They kind of look, they're probably like kind of supposed to be a bit of a knockoff of them. When producer Sun films one of them, he pretends to have his eye fall out, aka hands up his acting and drops a fake eye on the ground. And that hardworking professional, who 100% knew was fake, is there screaming away. And the twin responds, prank successful. Yes. Who would have thought your prank would successfully work on someone who works for you and needs to stay in your good books in order to keep her job? Then there is the international group, because that's right, they just stuck all the foreigners together because that's not racist. One of the guys from an English-speaking country goes to hit on producer Sun, and the other English speaker in the group's like, not on my watch, and sprouts some shit about their music bringing the world together to remind people that not all white people. Then there's the last group, and their gimmick is that they're all artists, which is reflected in their name, ARS! It's art, but without the T, making it sound nothing like art and making it sound more like a sound effect as opposed to an actual word. There's this one fella just policking the fuck out of this canvas. The mangaka panicking he isn't gonna meet his deadline, and the one who can't look at girls. Your producer is a woman, mate. You're just gonna have to learn to avoid that. The year level has an assembly and we get to meet the principal. I'm very grateful that they are continuing on with the tradition of head of idol company / school is super weird because this guy is a big teddy bear. Not sure if he's in a suit or if he's just a big talking teddy bear. It's not discussed. And he's like, yeah, sell 3,000 albums in 3 months or you're expelled. And that doesn't go down too well with everyone there. Except the mangaka who's like, I can't wait to use this in my manga, bitch. Which part? Which part? I am not sure how a talking teddy bear threatening to kick out idols if they don't make him some sweet cash applies to a manga. Ours are there it sounds like a pirate. Ours are there thinking of how they're gonna sell their 3,000 albums, and their leader Jackson Pollock says, don't worry guys, I have a great idea, and then proceeds to fuck off very fast in the opposite direction of everyone else in the room, leaving them not sure if he actually has a plan or just could not think of a polite way to leave the conversation. Producer Sun says she's worried that Fire Phoenix just aren't selling, and in every scene of the group together, it goes with their leader being really excited about performing and stuff, and the other two just agreeing with him awkwardly. So the 2 orcs members are alone together, And the ex-child actor confesses that he gets awkward around the ex-model member because he's uncomfortable around tall people. You heightest! The leader arrives and tells them that he got into being an idol because he saw this sick-ass performance that motivated him to have a dream. And then he sings. And during this song, it's enough to motivate the ex-performers. Modeling can count as a performing art, okay? Just bear with me, guys. They think, it is nice to have a dream. Yeah, I always thought I was missing something, but maybe giving this a go will be fun. And therefore, the leader of Fire Phoenix has stopped them. Fire Phoenix has stopped his group from disbanding and completely changed their mindset through the power of song. Then they all sing together, and they even manage to attract a little crowd to watch them. By the way, the full name of this series is IChu, halfway through the idol, because in regards to their idol career, whoa, they're halfway there! Sorry. Episode 2. The woman hater is a big concern because not a single one of the members of ours is working on their first single, and he's like, but don't you want to become idols? And no, none of them do. They were all scouted. Jackson Pollock at an airport, and he agreed to it because the principal said he'd get lots of free time. The mangaka passed out in the publisher corridor. I don't know what a stuffed bear was doing there. I wouldn't really see it as a prime place to pick up talent or an area the general public can just walk in around. One member got picked. His name is She-Kitty, and he likes cats. Okay. He got picked because his pottery master didn't want to give away a big fancy pot to the principal, so he human trafficked She-Kitty instead. And the best member to get picked, well, he wants to be part of the Takarazuka Review Theatre Troupe, aka the fantastic, amazing, all-woman theatre troupe. If you have ever seen parts from the Ace Attorney musical, I'm pretty sure that was by them, or at least a similar group, where it's just all women, all men play by women, all women play by women. But he's a guy, so he dressed up as a woman during his audition but got found out, and after that got picked up by the principal. Hey mate, guess just how many other theatre troupes you could get into easy because there's always way less men in musical theatre than women. Woman hater gets pranked by the twins because they dangled a plastic frog on a fishing line in front of him? That's that kid's own fault for being stupid to the extent that you wonder how he functions in everyday life, which she gives a fine example of straight afterwards when he runs into his producer, aka his boss, and reacts via running off and screaming. So Woman Hater is the only member who auditioned, and he whines that he only did because his sister nagged him into doing it. Female rallies who bully their male relatives into being idols, we love you. So he is so serious about them all failing that he reckons he may as well just quit school now. Which a goat just eats his resignation letter anyway. Why was there a goat on property? I don't know. Jackson Pollock returns from traveling all over the globe. Traveling paid to my ass. That's traveling rich kid for you. Woman hater worries he can't become an idol because he's just so scared of women. And Jackson Pollock's like, mate, there are no idols scared of women. You're a fetish waiting to be created and fulfilled. And now they are all inspired to work on that single they should have started work on like a week ago. And now onto the other story of the week. They were intertwined, but if I wrote it like that, it'd be a mess. So it opens with Baby Protag and Baby Noah, the American international member, singing on some farm that's just open field. Beautiful. When X-Model questions how a group from all parts of the globe can get along and understand one another, Producer Sun says that they can because music brings them together. And forgets to mention that they're all fluent in Japanese, which probably helps too. Because they're an international boy band, they are called I Heart Bees for short. Oh my god. Plus, it's pretty standard in K-pop to have foreign members since it's a popular, successful music industry. It does draw people in from overseas. And also, from those growing up in Western countries, many of them have cited their own country of birth as being too fucking racist to ever hire them as singers, hence why they have to go overseas. So what I'm saying is the international boy band gimmick just doesn't quite work when it's been a standard in K-pop for a fairly long time. During rehearsal, everyone's having a break, but Lucas from France is all grumpy that they aren't working harder. Look, I'm not sure how I feel about them stereotyping the French man as grumpy. Then Leon, the creepy member, says he's off to pick up Japanese girls. Okay, that foreigner stereotype is pretty accurate and I can't argue with it. In the evening, Noah's rich butler cooks them more food. Even though we see in the opening he lived in some rundown old shack. Plus, it's even weirder how Protag just grew up in some remote part of America just to end up moving back to Tokyo. So weird. But the butler specifically cooks food from all their home countries. And they all act like it's delicious, but you know it wouldn't be. It'd be made for the Japanese tongue and taste like shit. Leon is eating fish and chips. Fish and chips is cheap takeout Japan. It's not something you'd eat as a gourmet dish. And he reckons they're delicious. Just to hit home the Japaneseifying food thing, when my sister went to Universal Studios in Japan, their fish and chips meal was chicken. Noah decides a good way to get everyone to mesh is for all of them to cook a Japanese curry together for breakfast. Even though none of them can cook because the butler's been cooking all their meals for them. And it is here we learn that Leon is British. Look, I figured he probably was after the fish and chips, but was a little bit worried they'd make him Australian. So that means when he said before he was going to pick up Japanese girls, what this chavvy actually said was, you know what, mate, I'm going to go out and find some right old birds. This also means Lucas has another racial stereotype in that he hates Leon, the British member. Except Leon's a cunt, so it's justified in this case. They come together as a band and are able to record their song. And after recording, Protag comes along and says, hey Noah, remember when we sang in that rye field? Like, it's just so specific. He couldn't have said in the past or on the farm, but no, it was specifically a rye field in which they sung in. Did you want to fill us in on the temperature, the time of day, how high the rye had grown, just to make that statement that bit more specific? Episode 3. The groups are hard at work promoting their albums. iHeartBeats do just a stock standard YouTube clip of them saying that they're selling their albums. Ours, just vandalize some poor old man's shop and call it art. And the member who hates women is the only one handing out flyers, but he's only handing them out to men, aka the exact opposite of their target market. The twins are playing a game of twin hypnosis show, and one twin has to guess which out of the 5 foods the other twin wanted to eat. But he picked up the croissant, so all the crumbs fell on the plate, so he could tell due to the crumbs. Then they just ended saying, I think we forgot something. Oh well, hence not even promoting their album. Then Fire Phoenix, I keep pronouncing it as Phoenix, but it is Phoenix, like a phoenix fox, sorry. I'm too lazy to edit it back. Then Fire Phoenix are doing their busking performance again. And during all these performances, there's some bitch watching and judging them all. They have an assembly with the principal who says, so, you haven't really sold any albums. And then he brings in the self-proclaimed Otokonoko idol. Look, I respect him so much, I'm actually going to refer to him by his name, which is Kokoro. Everyone refers to Kokoro as him, so I'll just have to go with that as his pronouns. That's fair. And he is up there like, you're all shit. No one gay panics, but Leon does complain after he hit on him. Oh, you're too pretty to be a fella, you're definitely a shitter. Just cementing his place as the worst character in the show. Kokoro allows the groups the opportunity to be the opening act at concert later on this week. No one reckons that Kokoro's better than them, so he invites them to his training run the next day, where he just smashes them, like Usain Bolt levels of annihilation. Everyone's like, but how? He's so weenie. Just kidding, leave him be. Nearing the end of training where everyone is dead and struggling, Protag offers to help someone else and Kokoro is like, no! And Protag reports, wait, why can't we help one another? And Kokoro shouts, none of this friendship and love bullshit. There is no love in Idol, only pain! When Fire Phoenix are out getting coffee the next day, a fan of X Models comes along and says, man, I haven't seen you model in ages. And thank Christ she takes the, so he retired, but he's an idol now newswell, because some fans cannot move on, and if their idol ends up doing something different than what was originally planned when they were a fan, not happening. Like, oh my god, guys, yes, 10 did debut in Wavy and not NCT 127, and that is okay. Especially because Wavy fucking slaps, hello. Instead of joining in the training, the twins just decide to stalk Kokoro instead. Look, they have been behaving a bit too nicely for anime twins, so they did have to go and do something shit. Protag ends up joining in this illegal activity because he wants to know Kokoro better. You know what's a better, more efficient way of getting to know him better? Fucking talk to him. And yeah, he just hangs out with the members from his group, but Protag's like, he does have friends. Yes, numbnuts. The kid who's a member of an idol group is friends with these other members. Who would have thought? Then he even watches Kokoro rehearse late at night through the little window in the door, just in case he hadn't already been creepy enough this episode. Kokoro's there practicing a dance move and he's like, oh god, just gotta make that turn sharper. And Protag's there like, I cannot tell he is dancing bad. Wow. And then just barges into the practice room telling him so, and he's like, what? Yes? Okay. The fuck are you again? The concert and everyone performs, and the audience is just there on their phones like, you boys are too hetero for them. And then Kokoro performs, and oh my god, they explode! And this audience is like 50% women and 50% men, and there's this one guy in the front row who shouts, Kokoro, you are so pretty! Like, Kokoro's audience is the gay community. Fucking love it. And everyone is in awe of Kokoro's presence and skill set. Oh my god. I have watched just so many idol anime, and this is literally the first one that says in order to be a successful idol, and therefore what is seen as morally good in the context of the show, you have to be hardworking and you have to be talented and good at performing, instead of making the group who has that mentality the bad guys. Wow, I am in silent shock. How do I react to what is the most basic thing that should be in an idol show? And here it is, finally in one. Because Kokoro is the greatest fucking idol ever, and I love him so much. Alliance to Kokoro! Episode 4. So, the live performance was so beneficial to Fire Phoenix that X-Model now has PTSD-filled nightmares about it. It's because he was told by his manager, photographer, fashion designer, makeup artist, like, I don't know who, just someone who had something to do with his old modeling career, that his heart doesn't show on his face, which makes him mysterious, which equals hot, so I don't know what the problem is here. Producer-chan comes in and tells them that their sales are like real shit compared to all the other groups. So shit. So, to boost sales, Protag reckons a live performance will be ideal, even though you generally need an audience to attend said performance first. During dance practice, both ex-child star and producer-son bring up the fact that X-Model doesn't seem to be having fun during the performances. Yeah, I kinda get this. With your upbeat idol songs, you want them to be all smiles, but during their other songs, you basically want differing shades of blue steel. So even though a bland expression sounds like it'd be fine, in actuality, it probably just wouldn't have quite enough sex appeal to sell the performance. He calls producer-son annoying for trying to give him constructive feedback, even though it's kind of her job. The other two members run into either the last or one of the last groups to be introduced. It's another gothic group. Love my gothic idol groups. Their leader talks and acts like he's in a fantasy world, and it's really quite embarrassing, especially when he has to shriek away from the brightness of Protag, or as he calls him, Star Knight. X-Model goes out with some of the R's boys drinking, because he and they are all adults, and yet here they are studying in their first year of a performing arts high school. Makes sense. X-Model decides he should act more childish in order to fit in with the younger members better, whilst both of the younger members think they should act more mature in order to match X-Model better. They refer to his past modelling as mature, but like cunt doesn't model once on a bed. Like how mature can he be? In their heads, more mature equals drinking black coffee and reading the newspaper. Okay, X-Model is probably in his early 20s, guys, not his early 60s. Then when they dress more mature, they basically dress in standard cartoony disguise outfits, like big jackets, fake mustaches, and hats. Like, in all of X-Model's apparently mature modelling shoots, he's in suits and fluffy jumpers, and when they perform together, he has his peevage showing. These outfits are none of those things. I am very confused. And X-Model goes, fuck it, and just comes dressed as a minion. And my, how they laugh. How they all laugh. They laugh so much that it taught X-Model how to smile. Their career-saving performance is at the local mall. There is a whole plot in the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls about what a shitty, pathetic audience you get at mall performances. Yet this somehow magically pulls in like 100 girls to buy their CDs. We didn't even see that many girls in the mall watching it. Gothic group, their name definitely up there with my favorite boy band names, is Berserk, all in capitals, because of course it is. Yeah, they come watch too, and they're pleased to see that X-Model, or as they call him, Dark Sword, is okay. Guys, you can't call the member of the group with the darkest skin Dark Sword. X-Model apologizes to producer son for calling her annoying, and he hopes she won't tell the other members, and honestly, she's the producer of like 4 boy bands. If she complained every time one of them was mean to her, she'd either have a massive lawsuit backing her, or she'd be fired. Episode 5. It opens with new character Grumpy Wren. Yes, new character Grumpy Wren, because he has long orange hair like Wren and plays the sax like Wren, but is real grumpy, so hence Grumpy Wren. He sees Lucas practicing at a recording studio in town, and he gets annoyed at him due to his face whilst he's playing guitar. Mate, he doesn't need to be pulling a sex face whilst playing guitar. He can just use a normal face whilst practicing. Surprise, surprise, he also attends IChu Academy, and he is in the same year level as Berserk and Kokoro-chan Alliance to Kokoro-chan. But he's a grown-ass adult because he attends class hungover, and he's there talking about getting pissed with the staff. I don't understand how this academy works. I guess there's no age limit. They just let anyone wanting to be an idol in. Berserk's leader is only able to enter the classroom once his cronies have set up his smoke machine. I don't know if I would love or hate having a friend that extra. Berserk's leader, the self-proclaimed Demon King, says that he is proud of his slaves, aka his bandmates. Like, praising someone whilst referring to them as a slave just cancels out any good intentions you are trying to convey in that sentence. They're having a meeting to organise their class's joint concert run by Kokoro-chan, because of course it is. Kokoro-chan is just so fucking organised and talented and amazing that of course he's running the meeting. Though he does tell off Berserk for arriving late when his bandmates aren't even at the meeting. Though they were late because of brekkie. Like, if Grumpy Wren can turn up hungover, you can turn up with half-eaten croissants. Grumpy Wren and his 2 bandmate bros just leave. Like, excuse me, glorious leader Kokoro-chan told you he has to discuss everyone's tech rehearsals. Fucking please listen to him so that you don't rock up on the day having no idea what's going on. Then they run into iHappy, and once again he sees Lucas's face. His fucking bad mood. Oh, he's in a fucking back in bad mode again. Also, they don't call him Lucas. The subtitles call him Lucas, but everyone in the Japanese dub refers to him as Luca. So I don't know why they changed his name in the subtitles, since Luca's a standard guy's name. So we'll refer to him as Luca from now on. When iHeartB introduces themselves, they say their name and which country they're from, and I'm here smugly going, I've already learnt their names and countries. I don't need this introduction. They were going to use the practice room, but iHeartB bet them to it, so they decide to listen to them instead, the twins watching this all unfold. After they perform, Grumpy Wren's like, yeah, that was pretty shit. And Lucas there getting all mad at him, but his bandmates mutter that if Grumpy Wren even comments on a performance, it means he genuinely gives a shit about it. Which, considering what this guy's been like in this episode so far, I can totally see him just completely snobbing people he sees as beneath him. After this, the eavesdropping twins have a look of shock on their faces as if something controversial happened, when really a more experienced musician gave advice to a less experienced musician. iHeartB are discussing ways to improve their poor album sales, and someone suggests making a gimmick out of them all being from different countries, and Luke is like, no, we bring in people with our performances. And that stuffed bear principal just like, well, since you have fuck all album sales, I guess your performances and self-written songs are all shit then. In the evening, Grumpy Wren runs into Luca and proceeds to drag him to a bar where his bandmates are drinking, because yes, his bandmates, and Luca are all adults. Seeing adults in male idol shows isn't all that new a thing, but there's just so many in this one. Like, it's great. Keep encouraging this, guys. And at the bar, Grumpy Wren's group called Lancelot perform, by the way. So Grumpy Wren's on the sax, another guy's on the drums, and another guy's on the piano, because Lancelot is not a boy band. Lancelot is a jazz trio. Yep, they get up there and just play some jazz. Man. It's just so funny to imagine these teenage girls with their IChu merch and they're listening to jazz. Like, man, I hope later on we get to see them perform at a joint concert. Just to see what a standard idol audience is like when they're performing. Like, there'd be no chance going, since Lancelot fucking freestyle every performance they do. Nah, they've just all got to create a chant on the spot and pray that they're able to use a hive mind to all chant to the same rhythm. So his advice for Luca is to give a bit of an oomph to their performance and not just play what's on the sheet of paper in front of him. This feels like the type of thing a musician like Luca should know, but also very much in key with manufactured rock group problems. iHeartB was worried about Luca being out, so they made up his favorite meal, which is apparently corn. What fucking loser has corn as their favorite food? iHeartB performed for their school, and Grumpy Wren's response is, well, it was less shit than before. Episode 6. So we get to see the start of the second year's concert, which I completely forgot about. But good news, guys, because my dreams have come true. Lancelot is indeed a jazz-themed boy band! Like, the most jazzy thing about their song is that it's accompanied by actual live instruments, but that's it. Oh, except for their outfits, which are very jazzy. In this universe, jazzy being that they wear fedoras and have long flowing scarves that'd be a slip hazard whilst dancing, which they are. And then the lead is extra jazzy with his long coat. I love it so much. And Berserk performs, and they're so extra as they come down on stage via a floating gazebo. But the very next day, there is another Kokoro-chan fan meet. Yay! So yes, it's another Kokoro-centric episode, because once again, the younger groups perform at his concert to show how they've grown and developed and shit. But there was still so much Kokoro-chan. It was beautiful. It was brilliant. I love Kokoro-chan. Every episode should be about Kokoro-chan. Kokoro-chan should be the main character. Kokoro-chan should have his own TV show. Kokoro-chan should have his own franchise. Kokoro-chan world domination. Anyway. So, nice producer Chan does offer to come with him up to the concert, but no. He refuses and says he'll be right by himself, but he does take the melon pan she offers him because, melon pan. One of Berserk's members warn him that, oh no, their luck's off. And then he goes back to being a simp for Berserk's leader. Kokoro-chan is headed up to Tokyo because wherever the fuck this IChu school is, apparently it's not in Tokyo. Or the second year's concert was being held elsewhere. I don't know. It was never explained. And that's a reoccurring theme in today's episode, that it was not explained. Kokoro-chan takes public transport because yes, this is normal for idols to do. I would guess because Japan has such a good public transport system. That was like a controversy that happened. Heisei Jump used to take the train to their concerts and stuff, but then they had to stop doing that because fans kept hounding them on the trains. So it does happen. Due to further, first his flight is cancelled, so then he goes to take what I assume is the bullet train, but that's cancelled. So he takes a regular train, but that gets stuck partway to Tokyo. Then he gets a taxi, and that gets stuck in traffic due to an accident. And then bitch runs through the rain to the concert venue. Somehow everyone else makes it to the concert on time, but he doesn't. I don't know why. That reoccurring but why thing coming into play again. When Kokoro-chan's running to his concert, he trips and drops his melon pan and then watches it get run over. Like, I found this whole running sequence very emotional because I'm very invested in Kokoro-chan's existence and I haven't been getting enough sleep. So when that melon pan was crushed, I felt it. I felt the pain of losing food you've been looking forward to for so long. It was definitely the hardest anime death I've had to take. R.I.P. delicious melon pan. So yeah, everyone performs before Kokoro-chan's performance again, and the audience loves them this time round. When IChu perform, we see this one guy in the audience start cheering because, like, he's probably gay, and he's like, a cute boy's a cute boy. The other Poppin' Star members come and look after Kokoro-chan and give another melon pan because that's his thing. He eats a melon pan before every performance. He watches on the change room monitor, Protag emceeing and letting slip that when Kokoro-chan eats his pre-performance melon pan, he opens his mouth real wide, yeah, because he's making sure to get no crumbs on his lipstick because he's a true fucking professional, you piece of shit. But then Protag says he loves Kokoro-chan, and he blushes. Ooh. After the performance, Kokoro-chan runs into Protag. And he gets all shy and starts to thank him for the nice shit he said on stage. And he talks over him, the disrespectful piece of shit. He's just like, look at all the albums we've sold. Like, yeah, nah, that's great, mate. But one of the greatest human beings to ever grace this lifetime is confessing his feelings towards you, so fucking listen. Then Protag reckons Kokoro-chan should smile more often like he does when he's with those two guys. Fucking, we all know they're his bandmates. I just can't be fucked going through the character shock the girls are actually guys again. Ugh. And you're not good enough to be graced with Kokoro-chan's smile. The principal lets us know that D-Day for the first years and their album sales quota is coming up. Oh yeah, during the ad break, it showed one of the Re-Berserk members in like a bat onesie. Like, no, this is not cool gothic creepy group. This is your cutesy spooky scary skeletons equivalent. Episode 7. Producer Chan is there running down the stats for the first years. One hubby is described as having an international fan base due to live streaming performances, and there's just this black guy on a couch. Like, no, this big black man is not listening to Japan's equivalent of the Jonas Brothers. Then she said the twins have used the fact that they're twins to the fullest. Well, they are anime twins. It's generally what they get written to do. She also mentions how their album sales went up significantly after they started blogging online. Lol, the next Paul brothers in the making. So all the first year groups perform at this big funfair venue in their last attempt to reach their 3,000 album sales, which most are pretty cruisy with except Fire Phoenix, who still have 1,000 to go, because their sales method has been doing rinky-dinky street performances and selling albums there and then on the spot. Like, guys, fucking sell that shit online and be COVID friendly, please. Now that X-Model is no longer angsty, he's now incredibly hot to the extent that just about any woman who passes him gushes. How did he not have that effect when he was brooding? Fucking Showers love that one clip of Minho angrily stomping to the minivan. They're all just like, guys, how is Minho so fucking hot? Kokoro-chan's there for emotional support, and he's like, ooh, guys, one heartbeat's already sold out, and Protag's like, man, that's awesome! awesome! And Kokoro-chan is disgusted in this man's lack of a cutthroat mentality to the entertainment industry. There can only be one, and that one is you! Now, I need to apologize because frankly, I've been very off about something. So, up until this point, Pop and Star was just Kokoro-chan. So when I joked about the absentee group members, they weren't absentee, they just didn't exist. But now these two little boys he's been hanging with, now they join Pop and Star. Kokoro even says he asks them to join him. Okay, you can't hark on about working hard and being talented just to nepotistically let these lads join your idol group. And Five Phoenix's response isn't too trans panicky or played for laughs, so that's nice and unexpected. But oh no, some small child who previously watched them perform has lost her mum, so old Pro tags there helping her find her instead of preparing for their upcoming performance. Shit! They even get multiple announcements that this kid is missing, only for them to find said mum waiting in the Fire Phoenix crowd. Like, that bitch totally heard the announcements but just casually ignored her child in order to keep her good spot in the crowd. So the kid finally reunites with her mum and they're happily singing along to the concert on the stairwell, which is supposed to be a touching moment, but it's not because they're blocking an exit, which is a health and safety risk. Leon is considering buying a Fire Phoenix CD to help sales just for the bare principle to read his mind and call him up and tell him, oh nah, but he didn't need to because Fire Phoenix sell 1,000 albums in a day. Legends. When describing their performance, producer Chan's like, wow, it's so good because they literally don't give a shit about sales. Bear Principal appears on a large TV screen. He is still more normal and sane than the principal in Utapri. To congratulate everyone for passing, he refers to producer Chan as Producer Chan. Thank you so much for such a beautiful moment. Then brings up the big summer festival that they're gonna perform at and everyone's all excited and then he's like, but only one of you, lol, and everyone's shocked by this. And Producer Chan explains that this industry is rough and only a small amount of people actually make it as idols. Except that these guys are all from the same company, aka it is in your best interest to make all of them succeed instead of just the luckiest of the bunch. Like, your company would be at a financial loss if multiple groups you trained up and hired don't survive past initial debut. Episode 8. It's the beach episode because yes, it's a cute boys doing cute things show, so therefore there is an obligatory beach episode. Is there any real reason why there is a beach episode? Honestly, no. You can't even probably say it's plot related, like kids renting out a summer home for club training. No, they just end up here for a variety show that honestly could have been filmed anywhere. Except that they're not actually told it's a variety show. They just think their boss was nice enough to sponsor a trip for them free of charge. Except, of course, for Kokoro-chan. Of course, Kokoro-chan knew what was going on because Kokoro-chan's amazing. Best character in the show. I will fight you over it. During all the beach scenes, it's really tricky because all the group members are in normal bathing attire and are all mingling with one another. And honestly, I cannot tell who the fuck most of these fuckers are. They could be completely new characters for all I know. But I could tell the twins apart because one of them was having fun on the beach and the other one was sulking in a hammock because his bro wasn't there. You can survive a 3-hour beach trip without hanging out with your bro. Like, come on. Everyone else is voluntarily straying away from their groups for Pete's sake. I reckon there are about 10 different shots of close-ups on cameras. The first time I saw it, I thought it was some pervert's camera, but then I realized, oh, it's for the variety show. But it kept happening. Like, I get it. They're on candid camera. You don't need to cut to every single fucking camera that's filming them. Did love the SpongeBob-esque moment where when someone built a sandcastle, the animation department just used a photo of one. This show isn't particularly deep or artsy, but it's nice to see that happen. Kokoro-chan and other bandmates come out in cute little sarongs and Protag says even though they're boys, they still look cute, which isn't incredibly derogatory in the slightest, but hey, at least everyone is all positive about it and there's no transphobic meltdowns. So yeah, all but 7 boys get captured and put in a dungeon in an old mansion, and then they have to spook the 7 remaining members. I'm pretty sure it's illegal to film a show without the participants knowing, though this is the second idol show I've watched with this premise. Marginal 4 being the other one. So the captured twin is all for scaring the shit out of people. Remember, the twin gimmick is that they're pranksters. Pretty shit ones, but still. And multiple people bring up the point that scaring people is a kind of bad thing to do. And the principal, his Japanese name is Kokoro-chan, which is a very cool name, so I'm just going to call him that. He says it's for the reactions. Fans love reactions. Yes, we do. We will find the ugliest face you've ever pulled and turn it into a GIF we use daily. Enjoy! And we now see the worth in the boys that Kokoro-chan handpicked for Poppin' Star because the tall blue-haired member left to be scared is on it too. I shouldn't have doubted Kokoro-chan's choices in Bandmates. Of course he would only pick true professionals because he is the best. So everyone's having a blast with the pranking until Sulky Twin keeps calling out his twin's name because he doesn't care that he's scared. He needs to save his bro. Said bro, that look of guilt on his face. Eventually, it comes to the climax, where 3 people corner them dressed as knights, and then the staircase turns into a slide. So one of the jazz trio guys has been doing the loud man screaming the entire time, but then he snaps and just throws one of the knights off of a staircase. Then when the staircase turns into a slide, Sulky Twin falls and is saved by his bro. Like, there is at least a couple of meters to that drop. He could have been seriously injured if his bro wasn't there to catch him. Or maybe Kokoro wanted the reaction of everyone's shocked faces when they saw his bone sticking out of his arm. So the twins have a little cry, and Kokoro-chan's like, yes, more tears. I think even out of the 7 boys, one of them was from Rebazak. Like, come on, man. Your whole gimmick is how spooks you are. You should be having a ball. Episode 9. The most successful group at IChu have returned from what they make sound like an extensive overseas trip because, man, every fucking character that comes into contact with them's response is, wow, you're back in Japan! They're called Tenjo Tenge, and they're the cool samurai group of the series. So they were probs legit just doing the cons, like touring around to all the cons. Kokoro-chan's like every other idol company CEO in that he's like, you probably want to rest after your world tour, but no one in the first year course at IChu even knows who the fuck these guys are except for Protag. It's like I'm in wonder as to why they joined up in the first place and how famous is Tenjo Tenge if no one at their record label knows who the fuck they are. And he knows one member because, like, he met him in a park at night whilst walking his dog. I think it was after a performance, but why would he take his dog to a noisy performance? And if that wasn't the case, why is he walking his dog at nighttime? So he meets Cool Samurai Man and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna follow in your footsteps. And Cool Samurai Man's like, yeah, man, that's cool. And I hope your dog accomplishes his dreams too. This is how you know he's a good idol. He acknowledges the dog too in his dreams. Protag tells his bandmates that he's gonna be a cool samurai just like his hero. Too bad he's in the generic idol group that wear Love Live knockoff outfits. Kokoro-chan comes along and he's like, yo, dumbass, what stupid shit are you doing today? And Protag excitedly tells him about Tenjo Tenge and he's like, god damn it, he's being hot again. The school is holding a, yay, you sold your CD quota and didn't get fired party. Ex-child actor and one of Kokoro-chan's friends play with their stuffed animals because it's supposed to be cute and not creepy. Because that's what it is. I don't know. I've just seen a lot of fans showing off their little dolls of real-life idols recently, and I just find it super creepy. But not acrylic stands of them. No. That's fine. Just acrylic stands of them that I see every single fucking time I watch TV as they stare at me. No, that's not creepy. That's cute. Lancelot congrats One Heartbeat for passing, and Lucas says, merci. And then Grumpy Rain kind of shits on them for a bit, and Luca responds with, Oui. Is he going to start every sentence with bonjour now and walk around holding a breadstick all the time? Plus, why this far in are they getting this embarrassing dialogue? Was the show not selling well, so therefore they thought adding that to his character would help? Also, Grumpy Ren is not voiced by Ren, but another Utapri actor, the voice of Camus. This guy is in a lot of idol shows, despite the fact that his singing is not all that great. And here he is voicing a character who had a whole episode where he told others they weren't musically talented enough. And then their party is gatecrashed by Tengo Tenge because the principal had thought that it would be a good idea to put them in the running for the festival spot, even though they are way more successful than the other groups, and therefore makes that move quite unfair. Also, making a festival wait to know which artists they have at their concert, isn't that kinda dodgy? After this party, Protag reckons it'd be a great idea to strike up a convo with his hero. When he does, he tells him he wants to be a cool samurai just like him. Now, the way to respond to this is to explain that it's good to have someone to look up to, but as an artist, it's much better to pave your own path, find your own style, and be true to yourself. That is essentially what Cool Samurai says, but he had to do it in a cunty way so that there would be drama. And he's like, you should quit being an idol if you're just trying to copy me. That is the most contrived thing about this whole drama, because Protag is nothing like this guy. He fucking smiles! He smiles! He looks happy! He does girly dance moves! He's a real talkative people person! And he always wears a pair of sunnies on his forehead like he's that 140-year-old dad who is the only member of his family to be excited about the barbecue he's putting on. He's nothing like Cool Samurai Man! What this means is Fire Phoenix gets to perform at a small local festival just for Protag to space out midway through and kind of ruin it. The other members do manage to save it because when he forgets to do their group circle hand sign, they just lift his arms up in the air instead. And then Protag runs off because he's having a midlife crisis over a misunderstanding about something that doesn't even apply to him. Episode 10. The other two members of Fire Phoenix are watching a Tenjo Tenge performance, and X-Model's like, oh damn, no wonder Protag's such a fan, he's too sexy not to. So now they're playing the cliche of the one member who was always cool with the idol group has now reverted, and it's up to the born again idol members of the group to bring him back. A lot of this episode is Protag running into others, giving him vague messages of encouragement. Grumpy Ren runs into Cool Samurai at the dojo like, could you not emotionally destroy fellow label mates? And he's just like, well, if he's good enough for IChu, then he'll be right. Or maybe you could have just not been an ass to him in the first place, and he just continues on being happy and fine without any unnecessary trauma. Pop and Star are doing their long distance running training, and the little blondie member's struggling so much he's using his real man name, and Kokoro-chan has to remind him that no, he's Momo and he should refer to himself as such even on the brink of exhaustion. The running group go past Protag and they're like, hey Kokoro-chan, shouldn't we help him? And he's like, no. And the other two just keep running with him? Why the fuck didn't you go help him, Momo? It would have been a great excuse to get out of this run. But then Kokoro-chan ends up buying him melon pan, but then he doesn't give it to him anyway because he's whining. But what's my purpose? And he's like, you're fans for fuck's sake, no bread for you. Look, let me tell you, something I sure as hell wasn't expecting from an idol show was an LGBTQI ship. Lots of idol shows do gay baiting, where they're friends but they occasionally act more like lovers. But in this show, Kokoro-chan has obviously and intentionally been set up as the love interest. Too bad it also comes across as fairly one-sided too, but still, I am somewhat impressed. Good job, anime. Then the Fire Phoenix members find him and sing to him. During Protag thinking how sure Tenjo Tenge's performance means a lot to him, but he has other meaningful moments in his life, like meeting all the other groups. And during this nice speech while showing all the groups up in the starry sky, it's accompanied by his fellow caring members' kinda sharpish singing that totally ruins the moment. They explain to him that he has a different charming light from Cool Samurai Man. That light being the bland fucking protagonist in an idol anime that's made to appeal to the normies. His voice actor, Ken, who is also an artist, go figure, even voices Leopold from Black Clover, who is just the blandest I'm gonna work hard motherfucker out there. Like, everything about Protag is so normie. Episode 11, it's our big tournament arc, guys! So, it opens with everyone mentally preparing for their performance. Tenjo Tenge stick to their theme and have a tea ceremony like, "Hi, we're the traditional Japanese group, have some motherfucking tea!" Ex-child star is dressing up his doll to match him because that's a whole new level of creepy. Oh god, if people start doing that with their dolls of idols, aka actual real life people, like, you know they'd be the type of people who would literally need rehab if their fave ever left the industry. Ours is just having a picnic and meekly poorly written broad statements that no one would say, like, wow, picnics are fun. Yes, I'm having so much fun on this picnic. We should picnic together more often. The twins are the most effective with their free time. They're updating their socials, or as they call it, on Star. And they're enjoying all the nice comments they're receiving. Well, that's pretty inaccurate. Where's all the jealous, insecure, middle-aged men calling them faggots and the random sex bots in their comments? I happy go to their first shrine. Cute. Then Leon pulls a bad luck charm. Like, yeah, you're a fucking creep. That's not bad luck. That's karma. Now, the big performance in order to determine who gets to perform at the music festival is just held within the school. Like, apart from the groups performing, the only other people in the audience are Producer-chan and Kumakocho. What a letdown. They should have just held a mini concert to make it more exciting and have the fans' votes decide who should perform. During the picnic, that one R's member who's afraid of women says he was worried about performing. Like, mate, why? There is no one in the audience apart from your classmates who you've performed in front of before. So during this performance, it says how the twins unit is called Twinkle Bell. And I was like, oh, why? That's random. Until they perform their song with the lyrics, "We are twinkling twins." Why did I not get this dad joke? Oh my gosh. And if this show was like not made by a Japanese audience, it would totally be Twink Twins. We are Twink Twins. Kokoro-chan is very nice and has brought melon pan for everyone, which you bet everyone chomps down on before their performance. One of Kokoro's new bandmates admits they only joined the group because he was pressured into it, but like, they now enjoy performing as a girl, so it all worked out. When they go on to perform, the leader of Reberserk does that super embarrassing thing where you call someone out for flirting without realizing it, and just comments on how one of his boys really keeps an eye on Kokoro-chan. And then that boy gets all embarrassed and flustered like, no! Kokoro-chan is one of the most amazing beings in the universe. Of course you have the hearts for him! Plus, you're in the spooky idol group. Like, is there anything more embarrassing than that? Including having a crush on someone. You can't be like, ew, no, I don't like them. And then proceed to go on stage in your bat onesie to sing about the skeletons and shit. Like, you can't be such a hypocrite. When Five Phoenix goes to perform, Protag tells them to stop the music because he has to tell Cool Samurai Man how he helped him grow as an artist. Look. Surely there would have been a better time for this than at the literal start of your performance that will determine your biggest gig so far. Tenjo Tenge go up and perform and now I understand their popularity. They're the anime OP group! Headcanon in an alternate universe, they did the ending for Demon Slayer and as a result ended up touring cons all over the world. And shock horror, Tengo Tenge won again because anime music is popular and sells, and you can't tell me it was due to them putting on a better performance. For what was a big tournament performance, it was very underwhelming after everyone did their, yeah, we're gonna win speeches to some poor animation of them standing and holding a mic, like not even dancing most of the time. Well, the group who was expected to win ended up winning, so I guess it wasn't necessarily that exciting anyway. But at least Kumakocho said they all put on amazing performances. Episode 12, final lap, guys! Not a whole lot happened since it's more of a let's see all the boys one last time and a wrap-up episode. All the groups who didn't make it to the festival get to work there because they didn't have enough staff. What the fuck? This never happens. It's a day-long gig. It is easy to get people to work for that. Fuck it. Even if it's just volunteer work, you can always get people because if you can't afford a ticket to this event, then you can just work as staff instead. This is how it works at all cons. Whilst Five and X are there sorting out people's tickets, a couple of girls come up and say they're fans. And none of them retort back, oh yeah, well, if you're such big fans of ours, what the fuck are you doing going to see other groups perform, cheaters? Ours are given these suspiciously large and numerous cases to hand to Tenjo Tenge, and producer Chan says that they contain costumes, even though there's like 7 or so containers and only 4 members of Tenjo Tenge. Man, these subtitles are so shit. Like, they've even been spelling Tenjo Tenge's name wrong. Like, it's making me worry Kokoro-chan's pronouns are she, her, but I'm pretty sure I've heard himself and others refer to him as Boku, so it should be okay. After Tenjo Tenge's performance, the audience is screaming for an encore. An encore they get via everyone singing! Yes! Those suspiciously large containers contain costumes for all the IChu members. So why did this happen at the festival this year but not last year? Like, Kokoro-chan specifically talked about how depressing it was when he lost last year. And did not mention that, oh, but it was okay because I got to come out and sing with everyone anyway. The costumes are very pretty / a ripoff of Heaven's outfits from Utapri. During this concert, there's lots of little fan service moments like idols holding hands, giving one another bunny ears, and then just 2 guys getting up in one another's faces all angry, looking like they're about to make out. Like, yeah, that audience sure as hell isn't cheering for the quality of the performance. And Protag muses that he's gonna keep working hard on being an idol and end of series! I loved it. I mean, it's an idol show, so therefore it's shit, but I loved it. So much fun watching it. Everyone is so cute and likable, and all the different groups are fun. And then there is my queen Kokoro-chan, bestest bias ever. That was the latest episode of anime for Trashdwellers, done by Insufferable. God, I sound like a 20-year-old. Done by Insufferable Weeb on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. Bye!